Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're looking at a market move that lines up pretty neatly with some caution flags we saw last Thursday, right before the holiday break.
That's right.
After a really strong push into July 4th, we saw a noticeable pullback today, especially in some areas we were watching closely.
Yeah, a bit of a reality check, maybe.
Exactly. We're going to unpack why this matters and, how it fits into the bigger picture, so definitely stick around.
Okay.
But hey, before we jump in, if you find these daily summaries useful, maybe hit that like button. It costs nothing, but it really does help us out a lot.
It does.
And click subscribe so you don't miss these updates. You can always change your mind later if you want.
Good point.
And just that quick reminder, nothing here is specific buy or sell advice. It's all general market talk and trading education.
Absolutely. So, kicking off the week, we definitely saw traders, locking in some gains after last week's run-up.
Made sense.
The S&P 500, the SPY, it dropped about 0.75% today. And this follows what we mentioned Thursday. Its RSI, the Relative Strength Index, was over 70.
Right, that overbought signal.
Exactly. And RSI over 70 often means things got maybe a bit too hot, too fast, and a cool down is possible. Today looks like a classic example of that.
And it wasn't just the S&P, was it?
No. The NASDAQ, QQQ, also down 0.75%. That's after that big tech surge last week, Apple hitting new highs and all that.
Yeah.
Even the Dow, DIA, it shed almost 1%, 0.91%, taking a breather right near its all-time high.
So the Russell took the biggest hit.
It did. The IWM, small caps, down 1.49%. It pulled back from that key 200-day moving average breakout we talked about. Kind of shows profit-taking hit those maybe riskier small caps harder today.
It's moments like these, isn't it, that really hammer home the importance of managing risk, especially when markets get choppy like this.
Oh, definitely. Understanding how to handle these overbought readings, how to prepare for pullbacks, it's not about crystal balls, it's about reacting smartly. It's a core skill, really, something we focus heavily on in the Grok Trade Mentorship program, protecting those gains when the market gives you signals.
But even with the indices down, there were some bright spots, some individual names moving.
For sure. Baidu, B-I-D-U, that popped nearly 4%. It broke out of what looked like a symmetrical triangle pattern on the chart.
Ah, the tightening coil.
Exactly. A price tightens up, then breaks. That's one to watch now, see if it gets follow through.
And Circle, CRCL.
Yeah, Circle Internet Group, CRCL, it rallied pretty hard on heavy volume, still relatively recent post-IPO action.
So that volume is key there.
Absolutely. Spotting those post-IPO setups, watching the volume, finding those initial support levels, that's another practical skill that our mentorship helps traders develop.
Sector-wise, a bit defensive maybe, utilities-led.
Just barely. XLU up 0.21%, sometimes seen as a safe haven move. And on the other side, consumer discretionary, XLY, dropped 1.27%. Maybe some caution there after its recent strength.
Okay, shifting gears a bit from the daily charts, the wider economic stuff. Today was pretty quiet on the U.S. data front, right? Unlike last week.
Yeah, very quiet today compared to that June jobs report we got last week. What was it? 147,000 jobs added. Unemployment down to 4.1%.
That's the one.
What is making waves, though, is President Trump signing that new bill. Tax cuts for higher earners, some social program funding cuts, accelerating deportations.
Right, and the immediate reaction seems to be concerns about the national debt increasing.
That's certainly what analysts are pointing to. For you watching the markets, the thing to consider is, how might shifts in government spending or consumer behavior related to this impact different sectors?
Good point. And looking ahead.
Eyes are on upcoming tariff deadlines, and importantly, the Fed minutes coming out Wednesday. Investors will be hunting for clues about inflation and where the Fed stands on rates.
Makes sense. By the way, guys, if you've got a stock you're watching closely or just a general market question, drop in the comments below. We might just tackle it in a future summary.
Yeah, I love hearing what's on your radar. Now, crypto, Bitcoin, BTC, dipped about 1.21%. It's really hovering in a tight range. Feels like between $107,000 and $110,000.
Coiling up.
Exactly. That coiling action often means volatility is building. Could see a pretty significant move soon, up or down, once it breaks this range. We're just watching for that break.
And metals. Gold holding steady.
Gold, GLD. Pretty much flat today, just holding its ground. Silver, SLV, eased back just a tiny bit, 0.24%.
Still in that pattern we mentioned last week.
Yep, still flapping in the wind, as we called it, in that bull flag pattern. That consolidation after the run-up, it's basically setting the stage for a potential next leg higher. Still needs to confirm, though.
Okay, so let's wrap today up. We saw a pullback, maybe a healthy one,
Mhm.
in SPY, QQQ, DIA, and IWM as they cooled off those overbought readings.
Yep, worked off some steam. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is wound tight, looking for a move, and silver is still teasing that bull flag breakout.
It really underscores, again, why understanding the charts, the technical analysis, and having disciplined risk management, like letting winners run but cutting losers quickly, is just so critical.
Absolutely crucial. And those aren't just buzzwords. They're practical skills we teach step by step in the Grok Trade Mentorship program.
So, do you have a ticker you want us to look at? Let us know in the comments. We genuinely like seeing what trades you're watching.
Definitely.
And think about this. Today's profit-taking, it feels like a step back, maybe.
Yeah.
But could it just be the market gathering energy for the next big move? What do you think happens next with the indices? Or maybe that coiled Bitcoin? Food for thought.